Welcome to Prajapati Educational Institute. Today, we dive into the extraordinary life of Queen Victoria, the woman who ruled an empire where the sun never set. From a shy young princess to the powerful Empress of India, her reign of over 63 years reshaped the world. She led Britain through an age of great change, innovation, and expansion. But behind the crown was a woman of deep love, personal loss, and incredible determination. Get ready to explore the full journey of Queen Victoria, her triumphs, struggles, and lasting legacy. Let's begin this royal adventure. Crown Globe showing Europe Africa sparkles. Part 1: Early Life and Becoming Queen. Queen Victoria was born on 24th May 1819 in Kensington Palace, London. Her full name was Alexandrina Victoria. She was the daughter of Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, and Princess Victoria of Saxe-Coburg-Saalfeld. Her father died when she was only 8 months old, and she was raised by her mother under strict rules. Victoria was a small and shy girl. She was kept away from other children and lived a quiet, controlled life. Her mother and her advisor, Sir John Conroy, created a set of rules called the Kensington system that decided everything she did. This system was meant to control her and keep her loyal to her mother. Victoria was educated at home. She learned languages, history, art, music, and the duties of royalty. Although she had a lonely childhood, she developed a strong sense of duty and a serious personality. She loved drawing, writing in her diary, and reading books. In 1837, when Victoria was only 18 years old, her uncle King William IV died. Since he had no children, Victoria became Queen of the United Kingdom. She was young and inexperienced, but she took her role seriously. Her first Prime Minister, Lord Melbourne, became a father-like figure and helped her understand her new duties. Victoria moved into Buckingham Palace, which became the royal family's main home. She was the first monarch to live there full-time. At first, some people doubted her ability to rule because she was so young and a woman, but she quickly showed that she had strength, intelligence, and determination. As Queen, Victoria was very involved in the daily work of government. She read reports, met with ministers, and tried to make fair decisions. She had strong opinions and wanted to know what was happening in the country. She saw her job as more than just a symbol. She wanted to be a real leader. In 1840, Victoria married her first cousin, Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. She loved him deeply, and their marriage was happy and full of love. Albert became her most trusted advisor, helping her with politics, education, and improving royal life. They had 9 children, and Victoria was a devoted mother. Prince Albert helped modernize the royal family. He supported science, art, and education. He also helped organize the Great Exhibition of 1851, a huge event that showed off inventions and industry from around the world. It was a big success and made Britain look powerful and modern. Although Victoria loved Albert dearly, she was also very strong-willed. Sometimes they argued, especially when they had different views on politics or raising their children. Still, their partnership was full of respect, and Albert helped shape Victoria into a wise and thoughtful ruler. Part 2: Personal Tragedy and National Growth. In 1861, tragedy struck. Prince Albert died suddenly of illness at the young age of 42. Victoria was heartbroken. She fell into deep mourning and wore black for the rest of her life. She also stopped appearing in public for many years, which caused people to worry and even criticize her. During her time of grief, Victoria withdrew from public life and stayed in her homes at Balmoral Castle in Scotland and Windsor Castle. She continued to do her royal work in private, reading documents and writing letters, but she avoided public ceremonies and events. Some people called her the Widow of Windsor because she was rarely seen in public. Despite her sadness, Victoria remained queen and continued to guide the country. Over time, people began to understand her pain and supported her. She slowly returned to public life, and her popularity began to grow again. She found comfort in her servant and close friend, John Brown, a Scottish man who helped her feel safe and supported. During Victoria's reign, the British Empire became the largest empire in history. Britain controlled many lands across the world, including India, parts of Africa, Australia, and Canada. This period of growth was called the Victorian era, and it was marked by great progress in science, industry, and culture. Britain became the world's richest and most powerful nation. Factories produced goods, railways connected cities, and ships carried products around the world. The country was full of inventions and ideas. People were proud of their achievements, and Queen Victoria became a symbol of British success. However, not everything was perfect. Many poor people worked long hours in factories, children were used for labor, and living conditions were often bad in crowded cities. Reformers pushed for better laws to protect workers, women, and children. Victoria supported some changes, but she was always careful not to take sides in political debates. Victoria also became known as the grandmother of Europe because her children married into many royal families across the continent. Her family connections helped create peace between nations, at least for a while. In 1877, Victoria was given the title Empress of India. This was a proud moment for her, and it showed how important she had become. She cared deeply for her Indian subjects and had Indian servants and advisors in her royal household. She even learned to write in Urdu and Hindi. One of her closest Indian attendants was Abdul Karim, who became her friend and teacher. Some people in her court didn't like his influence, but Victoria respected him and learned a lot about Indian culture from him. She believed all her subjects, no matter their race or religion, deserved her respect. As the Victorian era continued, Britain saw many changes, new inventions like the telephone and the light bulb, rising education levels, and changing social values. Women began to fight for rights, and new political ideas emerged. Queen Victoria lived through it all, watching her country change around her. Part 3. Final Years and Lasting Legacy. By the late 1800s, Queen Victoria had become a respected and beloved figure across the British Empire. She had ruled longer than any monarch before her and had seen the country go through incredible changes. Though she was no longer young, her presence still held great power. In her later years, Victoria continued to work hard. She held meetings, read government papers, and wrote letters every day. She stayed in touch with her ministers and kept her opinions clear. Although she had limited power in politics, her advice was still taken seriously by many leaders. Victoria became a grandmother many times over. Her descendants were married into royal families across Germany, Russia, Norway, Greece, Spain, and more. Some of the most powerful leaders in Europe, including Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany and Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, were her grandchildren. Her family connections helped keep peace in Europe during her time. As she aged, Victoria suffered from health problems, including arthritis and poor eyesight. But she remained strong and active as much as she could. She continued to travel between her homes and attend important events. In 1897, the country celebrated her Diamond Jubilee, marking 60 years on the throne. Huge crowds filled the streets of London, and celebrations took place all across the empire. The Diamond Jubilee was a time of great pride for Britain. People saw Victoria as a symbol of unity, strength, and tradition. She had ruled through revolutions, wars, and enormous changes, yet she remained steady and loyal. She represented the heart of the empire. In her final years, Victoria spent more time resting at her favorite homes, especially Osborne House on the Isle of Wight. Her health declined slowly, and she grew weaker with time. On 22 January 1901, Queen Victoria died at the age of 81. She had ruled for 63 years and 7 months, the longest reign in British history at that time. Her death marked the end of the Victorian era. It was a time of mourning across Britain and the Empire. Millions of people felt the loss deeply. They remembered her as a queen who had served her country faithfully, through joy and sorrow, progress and pain. Queen Victoria's legacy lives on today. She helped shape the modern British monarchy, turning it into a symbol of duty and public service. Her reign saw the rise of industrial power, the growth of democracy, and the expansion of the British Empire. She was not perfect, she made mistakes, held old-fashioned views, and sometimes resisted change. But she always tried to do what she thought was right for her people. Her strength, honesty, and deep sense of duty inspired generations. The world changed greatly during her reign, but Victoria remained a constant figure in the lives of millions. Even today, buildings, streets, and places are named after her. Her story is a reminder of how one woman's life can leave a deep mark on history. If this story inspired you, please hit like, share, and subscribe button. For more extraordinary stories, stay tuned to my channel. Thank you for watching.